I want you to think, right? Do you know what racism is? What is
And discrimination between the different
based
races,
on race? Yes, discrimination against someone because of a particular race that he belongs to. What is sexism? Discrimination
amongst the different sexes.
because that person is of a specific sex, right? What is casteism? Yeah, discrimination based on a particular caste because that person belongs to a particular caste. What do you think speciesism is?
Because of a particular species.
Right, discriminating against someone because they belong to a different species. Can you give any example? If you've understood it?
Ma'am, people used to eat chicken.
Yes.
People used to eat chicken because it is a bird, or because they think that it is a material. Yeah, because it belongs to a particular species. But with same respect, they don't eat cow or dogs or different kind of species, because they don't think that with the same perspective as they used to think about the chicken.
Very good. Exactly. So we discriminate against a particular animal because they are of a particular species. Now, everybody eats chicken. How many non-vegetarians here? Okay. Were you born in non-vegetarian families?
Yes, like we have been eating non-vegetarian. Our grandparents.
From your grandparents,
Yes.
you remember, yes? How many vegetarians here? Okay, so what about the others? Sorry? Non-vegetarian. So, will the non-vegetarians raise their hands once again? Non-vegetarian? What about you? Vegetarian. Okay. Fine. Alright. So basically, you were born in a non-vegetarian family and so you eat non-vegetarian food? You were not born. So how did you end up eating non-vegetarian then? Your father? He eats, but nobody else in your family? Your mother doesn't eat. It's not even cooked at home. Okay. But your father does. So your father was the influence for you to start eating non-vegetarian. So it was somebody who influenced you. You did not decide on your own. Right. So vegetarians generally are born in vegetarian families and non-vegetarians are born in non-vegetarian families. Right? Right. Vegetarians also the same thing. You're conditioned by somebody, yeah, in your house. You eat eggs. You're vegetarians, but you eat eggs. You don't eat chicken. Right. So it's the same thing. It is because somebody has created that kind of tradition for you. Right? You never choose yourself. It's never a personal choice. Is it a personal choice? No. You're born into it. Now tell me, how many of you would be okay with killing a chicken or a goat yourselves? I'm asking the non-vegetarians. Would you kill a chicken or goat yourself? Have you killed a chicken? No. You have? You have killed a chicken. Okay, so I would like to ask you how you felt. How old were you when you killed the chicken?
Last year.
How you feel?
So, yes, I want to know, how did you feel taking the life of that bird?
Actually, I don't want to feel only because I will be eating. If I feel, then I will not be able to eat.
So you shut your feelings. Wonderful. So if you had felt, you would not have eaten that chicken. Right? So you turned off your feelings. Yeah. So you would not willingly kill. You would not willingly take the life of an animal. Right? Yet why do we do it? Like he said, he wanted to eat it. And why do people eat chicken?
Because they used to from their childhood eat.
From childhood, because everybody is eating chicken. Would you kill a dog and eat it?
No.
Why not? Because nobody eats dog here. Right? Nobody is conditioned to eating dog. So what are we taught from childhood? Dogs are not to be eaten. They are to be loved or taken care of. And it's okay to go kill a chicken and eat. But you yourself would not intentionally harm an animal, would you? Unnecessarily, would you harm an animal?
No.
So, what happens is society takes control of your heart and mind and conditions you to accept this as normal. Is it violence, first of all? Is it violence to take a life? It's not violent to take a life? It's violence, yes? When you take a life, it is violence, isn't it? And is it normal to take a life?
No, not at all.
But yet you're doing this. You're paying somebody to kill. You're paying somebody to take a life. When you yourself would not hurt or harm an animal intentionally. So is this something that you would want to think about? See, you are compassionate. You're lovely, very kind people. Your heart says, oh, I don't want to hurt. But you're doing it because society has conditioned us. Because everybody is doing it. It's a dominant ideology.
This is life circle.
Is it a life cycle? Then lions should be eating you.
No, ma'am. Like people said that this is a life cycle.
People said no. Does it make sense to you? Are you living in the jungle?
No, I'm not.
Actually, the history of the chicken was that it was growing very rapidly, so the people thought that it will.
Oh, so why isn't it that other animals?
They were not.
Okay,
that
there are dogs. There are dogs on the streets that grow very rapidly in
But
number.
nowadays, before it was.
No,
Because
it was all because of, it is, I'll tell you what it is. It is a mentality. Any oppression, you take any oppression or any cruelty or any violence, it has the same mentality. It is a mentality of privilege and oppression. A mentality of domination and subjugation. So whether it is, slavery, there were slaves, black slaves, yes? The mentality is the same. I have the privilege of owning that black slave. Do you think it is okay to buy and sell people? There is child trafficking happening even today, sadly. Even slavery is still exists, yes? Where people are bought and sold. Is it acceptable? Why is it acceptable to buy and sell animals for food or for pets? Is it normal? Only because of speciesism. It is just like racism, isn't it? We do this to them because we can. Because we have the privilege, because we have the power, we have the domination, the dominance. I hope I'm making you think.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have to think about our feelings, our heart and our minds. Do we really want to be part of this system? We are born into this system. It's not that we have chosen to do this. Now, do you know how old these chickens are when we kill them?
Few months.
Few months.
No, few days actually.
How old?
I breeded and.
Yeah, they are broilers. They are about 40 to 45 days old. Yeah? What would it be in human age if you compare it? Like a newborn baby, something like a 1.5-year-old baby. Imagine you're killing babies and eating them. You're paying somebody to kill babies. Would you do this intentionally? Yet we are doing this because everybody is doing it. And nobody tells us it's wrong. Everybody tells us that this violence of killing babies is okay. When you were a child, if somebody had given you a little chicken and said, okay, we are going to kill this chicken, this baby, and give you the flesh to eat, would you have eaten it? What would you have told them?
I refuse them to kill it. I refuse that I won't gonna kill that chicken.
Right. You wouldn't allow them to kill it, right? You would have said, no, I want to play with it. Because chickens are babies, they're babies. So, you were never given a choice of being part of the system. It was never a personal choice. If it were a personal choice, you would not be part of that system. Agreed?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, imagine, why is it that these chickens, if you see, they're always sitting down? Do you know? Why?
Because they are not healthy. Because they are not a very healthy chicken. They are feeded in that manner that their body proportion is not right. So their legs are not as strong to lift them up.
Very good. They're just 40-day-old babies and they weigh like an adult. So if you compare it to humans, it's like a 1.5-year-old child weighing 30-40 kilos. An adult weight, 60 kilos. You think this is normal to make 40-day-old babies weigh like an adult? Not normal, isn't it? It's horrible what we're doing. The legs can't take their weight, their heart and their lungs cannot take that growth. So we are actually eating something really sick. And this is something not because you are cruel, you are kind people, you're compassionate, you're lovely people. Yet you're doing this only because society has conditioned you into accepting this violence as something normal, necessary and natural. Now let's talk about milk. I hope I've made you think. And it's because of speciesism. Basically we say, oh, that species, we can do what we want. We say, oh, it's wrong to sell and buy and sell a human, but it's okay to buy and sell animals. Even fishes, for that matter. Birds, yeah. Now tell me, how many of you drink milk? You all drink milk. Tell me one animal that drinks milk when it is an adult. Does any animal, grown-up animal, drink milk? No. Only humans. Tell me one animal that drinks the milk of another species. Something to think about? Had anybody ever told you that? No. Isn't it abnormal for us to do something like that? So when does any animal produce milk? When it has a baby. Why has nature put milk in the body of that animal? For that baby. It's food for that baby. It's liquid nutrition because the baby doesn't have teeth. It's meant for a newborn baby to grow very fast in a very short period of time, right? So when you take milk from a cow or a buffalo, what are you doing?
You're taking away the food.
You're taking away the food of a baby. Would you as an individual do something like this? Isn't it horrible to take the food away from a baby? Would you as an individual steal the food of a baby? No. So why do we do it? Again, society has conditioned us into accepting this violence as something very normal. Now tell me, what is the weight of a human baby when born? 2.5 to 3 kgs. What is the weight in a year? 7-8 kgs. What is the weight of a calf when born? 15 to 25 kgs, depending, 18 to 25 kgs. What is the weight after a year? 130 to 40 kgs. So do you think the composition of human milk is the same as the composition of cow or buffalo milk? Nature has made that milk, yes. Nature has designed the milk in the body of a human and the body of a cow or a buffalo. Now, if I gave you rat's milk, would you drink it?
No.
If I gave you human milk in a glass, would you drink it? Why not? Human milk, it's your own species. If I gave it to you in a glass, would you drink it? No? No. Isn't it weird then that you're drinking milk of a cow or a buffalo in a glass? Something to think about? Right. So basically, we are doing something so weird, but it has been normalized for us. Right? Okay. So, how often does any baby require milk? The baby of any species. A human baby, every 2-3 hours? Right? And the baby drinks the milk and empties the breasts of the mother. Same thing with puppies, kittens, rat babies, kangaroo babies, elephant babies. They drink every 2-3 hours. How often do we milk a cow or a buffalo? Twice. Morning, evening. What are we forcing that mother to do? To accumulate milk for 12 hours without emptying her udder. In nature, what would the cow baby do? Empty her udder every 2-3 hours. Imagine collecting milk for 12 hours. Can you imagine the amount of pain she must be going through? Do you think it's correct that what we're doing? And if any baby of a cat, dog, horse, donkey, human being, any animal, does anybody tell the baby, okay, you should drink only so much and then the rest is for somebody else? So who decides how much milk to drink and when to drink? Society decides? We? No, I'm talking about any animal. Forget the cow or the buffalo. Yes? Who?
Baby and kettles and their humans decide themselves.
Right. The baby decides how much milk they want to drink and when to drink. Right? But what do we do with the cow babies here in India? We take them to the mother. The minute she suckles, the mother lets the milk come down, they pull the baby away. Imagine if you were a baby when you were born and your mother had milk and you just start to drink milk and somebody pulls you away. How would it be? Would your mother be okay with that? Would you be okay with that? Would the baby be okay with that? Is this something you would do? But every time you drink milk, you're saying that is okay. Every time you have butter, cheese, paneer, dahi, khoya, anything cream that is made from milk, you're saying that is okay. Is it okay? How is it that the cow or the buffalo continues to have milk all the time? Does your mother have milk in her breast now? No. But she had milk when you were a baby. But after some time it dried up. Yes? The dogs and cats that you see on the street, do they have milk all the time? When do they get milk? Only when they have babies? So why is it that cows, we have so much milk? Cows and buffaloes, that we package it and sell it. How is it? They keep having babies all the time. That's horrible, isn't it? So you know how they do that? Just 3 months after she's delivered a baby, they insert the semen into her vagina so she'll become pregnant, forcefully. What kind of action is that? Don't you think it's sexual assault? So they hold the cow or the buffalo either in a rape stand, that's what it's called in India, or a rape rack, or 3 or 4 men hold the cow or the buffalo, the vet or even whoever is doing the insemination, he inserts his arm almost up to his elbow into her anal opening, and then to stabilize the cervix or ovaries, whatever. And then he inserts the tube with the semen into her vagina. And sometimes she doesn't get pregnant the first time. They repeat it after a day or 2. Horrible, isn't it? So this is something we need to really think about. So she's pregnant and lactating at the same time. Imagine there must be such hormonal changes happening in her body. Those hormones come out in the milk. Little kids drink them. Yeah? What happens to those kids? They reach puberty at a very young age. Just at 8 or 9 years old. And they are like they should have reached puberty when they're 13 or 14. But at the age of 8 or 9, they've already reached puberty. It's horrible what we do, isn't it? I hope I've made you think what we're doing. Right? So this is what we do. And if it is a male calf, do you think the dairy industry is going to keep the male calf? No. That calf is not going to produce milk. So what do? Kill them. So send them to slaughter or usually starve them to death. And then fill them up and it's called a khal bacha. Yeah? They stuff it. When it's time to milk, they bring it near the mother so she starts releasing milk. Is this something natural or is this criminal?
Criminal.
It's criminal, isn't it? Imagine taking the life of a baby, denying that baby the birthright to his mother's milk. Or even if it's a female, they deny the birthright to her. And every time we consume milk products, whatever, milk, butter, cheese, paneer, ghee, or dahi, or khoya, or cream, or whatever, we're saying this is okay. But it's not because you are bad people, right? It's because the system has been in place for so long. And then after 5 or 6 years, she can't produce a profitable amount of milk. You think they're going to take care of her? Kill her. So vegetarians are responsible for the killing of cows and buffaloes, when actually they think they're not harming any animal. Most vegetarians, yeah? They won't eat chicken because they think they're harming animals. They don't want to harm animals. So basically, I wanted you to think, this is the root cause of all evil is speciesism. You teach a child love and teach a child that all beings on earth are equal, there wouldn't even be a war. Do you think there would be a war? No. Nobody would even want to kill another human being. So I hope I've made you think.
Yes.
The next time you want to have non-veg, eggs also, they're babies. They're the hen's babies, yes? Every time you take the egg away, she needs to lay another egg, and in this day and age, they give them hormones in the food, so they lay eggs. In nature, they would lay 12, 15 eggs, and then sit on them. Yeah? But here, they lay a year, I'm talking about a year, they lay eggs almost every day. And if you compare it, it is kind of a menstrual cycle. Yes, for the hen, the egg. Imagine a woman having a period constantly, all the time. Can you imagine what would happen to her body? The impact it would have? And hence, they literally talk to their chickens when they are still in the egg. They communicate with their babies. How traumatic it must be when their baby, the egg, is taken away from them. Something to think about, I hope. I would like you to go and Google egg cruelty, fish cruelty. You should watch a video called See the Truth, S-E-A, the truth. And see how we are destroying the ocean and fishes. If you remember, our fishermen were caught in Sri Lanka. Do you remember? And then what happened? Swami Subramanyam, he went and he got the fishermen back. Do you know why? Because there were no fish left in our waters. And the owners of the trawlers, some of them are politicians, they told the fishermen, go ahead, go ahead. So they went ahead and they went into Sri Lankan waters. And then what happened? Sri Lanka caught them. So when Swami Subramanyam went, the Sri Lankan government said, okay, we'll release the fishermen, but not the trawlers. So they got the fishermen back, but they kept the trawlers because they didn't want them to come back into their waters. So we've literally emptied the oceans of fish. And can you imagine what we are doing to our planet if we empty the oceans of fish? You should understand what fish farming is. There are dead zones in the ocean. That means nothing can survive over there because of fish farming. So there are a lot of things I think we don't know. I would also ask you to watch a video by Dr. Sailesh Rao, the 2026 transition tour. Because according to his calculations, there are only 12 years left for us to reverse climate change. Dr. Sailesh Rao, the 2026 transition tour, I think it's Portland, Oregon. If you watch it, you will understand the impact it has on our wildlife, on the oceans, and what we are doing. It's an hour-long video, I think, but from 40 to 45 minutes, somewhere there, you'll see how it has impacted the wildlife and human populations. So I hope I've made you think.
Yes.
So the next time you want to eat, you can question, do you want to listen to your heart, your conscience, your mind? Or do you want to blindly follow the system that you have been born into and allow society to take control of your heart and mind? It's horrible, isn't it?
Yes.
You can be true to your values. Thank you so much for giving me your time and listening patiently. And I hope to see you again. And you can be in touch with me. You can watch my YouTube channel called Plant Powered Darshana and share it with others, because we don't have much time before we destroy the planet, and then the human race is going to die. Yeah? And if you wonder, oh, then if I don't have chicken, mutton, fish, milk, eggs, what are you going to eat? What will you eat?
Green plant.
You know, our traditional food of roti, sabji, dal, chawal, it's vegan. No animal products. Don't use ghee or dahi, and it's perfectly fine. So it's very easy to go vegan in India. Very simple. All you need to do is eat roti, sabji, dal, chawal. You have your vada pav, you have your samosas. Unhealthy, but still okay. Better than killing our planet and our lives. Yes? Thank you so much.
Thank you.